Deshaun by tweeting, quote, "If I'm Deshaun Watson, I will stand my ground. The Texans organization is known for wasting players' careers." Heavy statement there. Shannon, what should Deshaun do here?
Deshaun should do what Dre told him to do, stand his ground. Deshaun Watson is going to have to do what's in the best interest for Deshaun Watson, because clearly they've blown an opportunity. They've wasted some valuable years, Skip. They let Dwayne Brown go. In order to replace Dwayne Brown, you trade 2 first-round picks for Laramie Tunsil. And now that first-round pick is the 3rd pick in the draft. So some talent that you could have been getting to surround him to keep Dwayne Brown, you wasted that, and you go out and spend up 2 firsts and maybe a 2nd-round pick to get Laramie Tunsil. Yep. Now you're $20 million over the projected cap, and the cap is going down. So what helped? If I'm not mistaken, William Fuller IV is suspended for the first 3 or 4 games next year. So now
I'm not sure how many games it is. Is it?
Because it was 6 games, and I think he's got at least a couple to serve in the 2021 season.
Yep.
But if I'm Deshaun, Skip, I stick my ground, because there have been some things that's been said that they would talk to him about certain things, and that didn't come true. He wanted them to interview Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy is on the bye week. They don't call him. They found out he's frustrated. "Oh, EB, we want to talk to you." No, you don't. You just want to do that. You try to, because I'm upset now. I believe it's going to end bad for the Houston Texans. I believe Deshaun Watson. I say there is an 85% chance Deshaun Watson is under center for someone else next year other than the Houston Texans.
Really?
Yes.
So that phrase, which I don't really love, stand your ground, but in this context, it's going to mean trade me?
Yep.
And if they don't, he will not report?
No, I don't think he won't do that. The one thing, I don't really know him that well, but I know he'll be professional. He'll always be professional. He'll come in and he'll do his thing. But behind the scenes, he's let it known. This is the way you want to do business. This is the way I don't want to be a part of the way you do business. I want to move forward. Because it's been reported, now I don't know how true this is, Skip, that the research firm recommended Louis Riddick and Khan, I think, from Pittsburgh.
Omar Khan, yeah.
And they went on their own and said, "No, we want this guy."
2 minority candidates were recommended.
Yes.
And Omar Khan was number 1, Louis Riddick number 2.
Correct.
And they said, no, Nick Caserio.
Correct.
Who is a friend of another guy, Easterby, who's been there for a couple of years.
Right.
And it sounds like a crony hire.
Correct.
Okay?
And so basically, and to get him from New England, you probably played him more to pry him from New England than you were going to pay the 2 minority candidates that you wouldn't have to overpay to get. But that just goes to show you. And that's the problem that they have. And this is why I believe Deshaun Watson should stand his ground. Because Deshaun, they're always going to do what's in the best interest of them. They felt that this guy from New England was the best interest for them, fit their profile. Now you need to fit your profile. What's in the best interest long-term for Deshaun Watson? And I believe getting up out of Houston would be the best of long-term. And if Miami, if Miami you think is good, but Skip, if he ever got the 49ers, and there's no question in my mind, they would give up Jimmy Garoppolo in the 9th pick or whatever pick they have, and maybe next year's pick. Deshaun Watson within 2 years would be the MVP of the NFL in that offense.
I hear you. But again, stand your ground exactly how? What is your plan?
Hey, do what y'all need to do. But behind the scenes, he makes it very clear to them, I want out. You guys want to operate on a different set of rules than what, you told me you would, you keep me in the loop.
Okay.
And you went and did this thing on your own. Right. So I'm going to keep you in the loop.
And
but
what
I
if they respond to you, Deshaun, we just paid you a ton of money. It's second most to Patrick Mahomes.
You ain't got to worry about that. That's going to be on Miami. That'll be on the 49ers. That'll be on somebody else's payroll.
What if they say, we paid you and we expect you to play with all your heart, mind, and soul. We expect the best of Deshaun, and we're sorry, but you're going to play for us.
And you know what, Cal? I expected the best of you. I expected you to keep me in the loop. And so since you didn't keep me in the loop, this is what I feel. I just feel that this is the best for both of us. And it's word Jeffrey Lurie used when he fired Doug Peterson. I feel it's in the best interest of both parties to go their separate ways. Deshaun says, I feel it's in the best interest of both parties to go their separate ways.
Okay, and you're talking about Cal McNair.
Correct.
Who is the son of the late owner of the Houston Texans.
That is correct.
who set a tone in that franchise that wasn't exactly socially and racially progressive.
Right.
Dare I say?
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. What was his infamous remark? And again, it was just to the other owners, but it leaked out,
yes.
right? And it was about, we're not going to let the inmates run the prison, not
right.
the asylum, but the prison.
Correct.
Whew. Okay.
So that's how you look at that damn
players.
And
that's why Dwayne Brown said, I want out. And they said, okay, we will get you up out of here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So
you trade Dwayne Brown, you leave him unprotected. Then you trade D-Hop.
Who was at odds with Bill O'Brien, then the coach. And not only was he the coach, he was also the
general manager.
And he said, I'm going to basically give you away to Arizona. I'm going to make Kyler Murray's year by giving you to Kyler Murray.
Yes.
For David Johnson. And there was another later round pick. Huh. Interesting.
Protection and arguably the best receiver at the time, one of the top 2 or 3 receivers in all of football. Nah, we good.
I don't love Deshaun's chances of getting out here. And again, NBA versus NFL.
Yeah.
Players sort of run the league in basketball. Players do not run the league in pro football.
Not even close.
Do I love, again, I'm the biggest Deshaun Watson fan, and I do love his football character, but he could also turn that backbone of his against his team, and he could just say that there's only one way out now that you signed your contract, and that would be, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to play.
I don't think Deshaun will ever make it publicly. He would just prefer to handle things behind the scene. And, he don't want to be in a situation where I let it be known. My representatives and people in my camp have let it be known to them. I think it's best for me to play elsewhere and get what you can. I mean, if Miami is willing to give you Tua in the 3rd pick of the draft, if the 49ers are willing to give you Garoppolo in the 9th pick, and somebody might be willing to give you 2 first-round picks because that's a franchise quarterback skill.
Okay, but if I am Houston, the one that would appeal the most to me is if Jacksonville said, we will give you Trevor Lawrence, because then I could start fresh with a franchise quarterback, a can't-miss prospect who, since he was like a junior in high school, everybody said that's going to be the first pick in the draft. Well, if you could start fresh and sell Trevor Lawrence to your fan base, that would be a way to replace Deshaun Watson.
And that's great, because you remember what they did to Warren Moon. Warren Moon is in Houston, and they replaced him with some guy from Baylor. I forget his name. Cody Carlson.
Yeah.
That might
for Warren Moon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So although it's a different franchise, they made that move. So for me, if I'm Deshaun's like, nah. If I'm Deshaun, I'm just telling you how I'm thinking. After you said that you would keep me in the loop, and then you do things and you didn't keep me in the loop.
Okay. So I think Deshaun Watson will prove to be better than Trevor Lawrence going forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm Jacksonville, I would do that deal in a heartbeat, but Deshaun